Hi, I'm Matt from Soul Shifter. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to introduce you to Lord Ganesha, and I want to tell you how he got his elephant head. So his mother, Parvati, who is a Hindu goddess, she was having a bath one day, and she was using this special mud that made her skin glow. And she was sitting in her bath, and she was just feeling very lonely, and she didn't have kids of her own, and she was just thinking to herself, you know what, I really want a child. And so she took some of this mud off her and she sculpted and molded this little boy, and she called him Ganesha. And he was trotting around and he was so happy to be there with her. And she said, now my son, what I want you to do is I want you to go and stand outside the palace gates, and nobody must come in because I'm bathing. I don't want them to see me in the bath. So he was like, oh, that's so cool. So he went trotting off. Little guy, man, little tyke. And he stood in front of the palace gates with his sword, little sword. Anyway, next minute, this big guy on a big cow came riding up, and he stopped at the gates and he said to little Ganesha, he said, I'm here to, let me in, I'm here to see, Parvati. And Ganesha said, no, you can't. I am her god, and I'm being told you're not allowed in. Cut a long story short, they had a bit of an argy-bargy. This guy on the cow jumped off, and we realized it's Lord Shiva. But little Ganesha didn't know this. And so he puffed himself up and he said, I'm going to stop you from going into the palace. And with that, Lord Shiva just raised his sword and went and cut little Ganesha's head off. And Ganesha went conk, fell over dead. With this, Parvati came running down the driveways, shouting, what have you done? Lord Shiva, what have you done? And he said, well, this little guy wouldn't allow me in, he was standing here with it. And she said, but that's my son. That's my little Ganesha. And he was so upset. He was so contrite. He was like, I'm so sorry, Parvati. I will do anything to bring him back, anything. I tell you what I'll do. I'll get my soldiers and my guards to go into the forest right now and to find him a head. So the very first animal they come across, they'll chop off its head and they will bring the head back, and I will put the head onto Ganesha and he will come alive again. So Parvati said, okay, you better do it. You better go. I'm giving you 24 hours kind of thing, okay? So off Shiva sent his men into the forest, and the very first animal they came across was an elephant drinking water at the watering hole. Quick as a flash, they grabbed the elephant, sliced off his head. It's that kind of story. And they took the head back to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva took this elephant head and he placed it gently onto the body of little Ganesha. And little Ganesha stood up and he was alive. He'd been resurrected. There was only one small problem. He now had an elephant head and he couldn't get it off. So he was stuck with this elephant head. But that's fine because he learned how to live with the elephant head and he became a god in his own right. And I totally adore Lord Ganesha. He's one of the deities that I pray to, and so is Lord Shiva. And so is Parvati, who is actually Shiva's wife. So it's Shiva, Parvati, Ganesha. And then Ganesha has a brother, which I will speak to you in another video about because it's very interesting. And not many people know that Ganesha actually has a brother. But I like Ganesha for two reasons. Well, three reasons. Firstly, he's a really cool god to pray to because he removes all obstacles. Secondly, he's a chubby chub like me. And thirdly, he likes Indian sweetmeats called laddus, the little round sweetmeat balls. And of course, I love laddus. And if you look very carefully on this Ganesha here, he has actually got a little bowl of laddus, which is so cute. Before I go, I have a story time. Before I go, I want to just tell you that this little man here, this little Ganesha here, comes all the way from India, and he's my latest acquisition. He's my latest avatar and embodiment of Ganesha, and a very, very lovely lady who's part of the family. She went to India and she brought me this little Ganesha here. So he's welcome, little Ganesha. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you found that interesting. You know who I am. I'm Matt from Soul Shifter, and I will see you next Sunday.